Hi again, everyone. It is Gary the Gray, back for another YouTube video all about ASMR and maybe some other things as well that I try to sneak in there. Some of the places at Duchesnay Falls that I stopped to enjoy this summer were really quite remarkable in the way that I was surrounded by nature. And if you've seen some of my other videos, you know how I like to go hiking on trails and stopping by at places. I've never put a video on YouTube about this that was meant for public viewing, but I thought, gee, maybe I can do something that would be relatively relaxing by tackling this place. The trick was the roar of the water. It was so loud. So I'm going to make an attempt here to try to make this as relaxing as possible. Now, picture this place. This is like me lying down on a rock, being hit by beams of sunshine on a hot summer day, partially shaded by overhanging maple branches with all sorts of green leaves, with the sun peeking in and out as this beautiful summer breeze makes the branches wave slowly in the sky. And as I look up in the sky and I'm looking at the effect, it's like this ripple effect of light and shadow, almost like the way sunshine reflects off of water that is running. And speaking of water, the water from Duchesnay Falls rushes by me really super fast, and it sends occasional bursts of mist in my direction, keeping me cool and comfortable. It was quite a remarkable day. All of these shots were shot in one day. So while you're getting to watch the video of Duchesnay Falls, I'd like to discuss some things about ASMR in regards to a couple of celebrations that have come up recently, and some of the new ASMR artists I've been following, and some of the cool videos that I've seen recently. I'm going to try something a little bit different. I'm not sure how it happened, but I've gotten a bunch of new subscribers on my channel who are actual ASMR producers. I don't have like a boatload of subscribers, and I'm not professing to be some kind of a big professional when it comes to being able to give out tips and that. Most of the producers that I talk about have more talent in their little finger than I did throughout my entire broadcasting days. But I do have a couple of tips that I can pass on to both producers and for people for real life type situations I think you might be able to utilize. Now, a couple of the celebrations that I wanted to touch briefly about, and I'm only going to touch upon two, but when I take a look at all of the video producers out there, there are so many celebrations that are happening on YouTube with people getting reaching certain milestones, especially in regards to number of subscribers. GB. If you know ASMR, you know GB. I happened to be on one night and got a notification on YouTube that she was live streaming, so I went to her channel to see what the hoopla was all about. Her 2 millionth subscriber, and I was watching the live stream as it actually happened, and she got her 2 millionth subscriber. That's absolutely incredible. I could not imagine anything like that happening for anyone. But GB, spelled G-I-B-I, has definitely paid her dues over the years. So bravo for GB. That was really quite astonishing to see that counter hit 2 million subscribers. Now, going on to another end of the scale, I would like to, because every milestone is big. The way GB handled 2 million subscribers is the same way somebody would celebrate 100 subscribers. Whenever you hit one of those milestones, it's always as exciting as the previous time. Another milestone is from ASMR Richard Betancourt, and it's actually ASM Richard Betancourt. Well, congratulations going out to him for getting his 1,000th subscriber a little while back. And because he is just such an all-around nice guy, I thought I would give him a little bit of a shout out here. I know that he really loves ASMR. It's more than just a thing that he produces, but he really just loves the whole genre, and he loves all of the producers, and he makes it a point to be as immersed as possible in the field. So just quite a remarkable guy. Also, what makes him remarkable is how he promotes other ASMR producers. He was recently on Twitter saying, "Go check out my friend." So I checked out his friend, and I'm watching this video, and it seems to start off simple enough, but as I watch it, I start to realize the production effort that went into this gem that I was watching by a producer by the name of Ninja Star ASMR. It features an entire video role play shot in nature. And I don't know if you're like me, but if you watch TV, you take everything for granted with the production techniques and all of that. And some things you just take for granted. And there was one thing that happened in this video twice that I nearly overlooked entirely. Drone shots. There were a couple of shots that panned away and then shot up into the sky. People usually can't afford that kind of equipment to be able to produce really good video, but this was exceptionally well produced. The footage of wild deer was also incorporated into the video, as well as some really cool edits that caught my eye. Now, I'm a geek, and I embrace my geekiness. I love seeing things like edits and layering and all the techie stuff that I don't have the talent or the equipment to do at this time. So I like to see someone like this, at the time under 500 subscribers, and I think she's getting closer to 700 subscribers, all within the span of like a month. That's really excellent for an ASMR producer. So some really cool editing. I really am looking forward to watching her learn new tricks and for her channel to grow. She's already extremely talented. The name of that was Ninja Star ASMR. I will tell you how to get links to all of these producers before the end of the video, okay? So hopefully Ninja Star ASMR is going to grow really big. The video that I was watching was called the Fairy Fantasy ASMR Roleplay. Another producer that I have fallen in love with over the last couple of months is Periwinkle Rose ASMR. And I was wondering which video to talk about. She did this Clue collaboration with a bunch of other producers that was really great. And she did this other one that was plucking away all your negative energy. I can't pick a video because they're all so well produced. And if you put all of her videos side by side, the ones that she produced solely on her own, one thing that you'll notice is that her levels are extremely consistent. They're very well produced. So if you line them up into a playlist and just hit play all, it's going to be the same volume throughout. She is easily my new ASMR obsession, and I've even said to her that if she ever gets a Patreon account, I want to be one of the first people to subscribe to it because I'd like to support her efforts. I think that this is somebody who has the talent to make a living off this. And I don't think I've ever come right out and said this about anyone on my channel. Production levels being consistent. You can playlist her stuff and play it overnight to keep you asleep. She's just the real deal. And haven't been this excited for an ASM artist since my earliest days of getting into viewing ASMR. While we're on the topic of you can put all of her stuff together and hit play all, I would like to make a recommendation to some of the ASMR producers out there. Playlist your videos. Make playlists. If you like to do all sorts of different things, some ASMR and some not ASMR, if you make an ASMR playlist, people will hit that playlist when they go to bed, and they will have all of those videos play throughout the entire night, and it will help to keep them asleep. Can you imagine if somebody hits play all and all of these ASMR videos are playing, and then suddenly it switches to a completely different genre, and suddenly you have all sorts of noise blasting in somebody's bedroom at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, waking them up. What'll happen is they probably won't select your channel to be the one that they will go to bed with at night. And I know that frequently I will select a different artist, and if they don't have playlists, I will make playlists of my own. And I can easily play 6 or 7 hours of ASMR in one single evening. And I know that if I wake up, I'm going to hear a little voice in the back of the bedroom, and it's going to knock me right out again. It's quite something else for people who really are affected by ASMR. It really is an incredible thing to have, because it's better than a sleeping pill. Another channel that I want to talk about, it isn't overly new. It could be big. I think it's big. I don't know. It's simply because she never puts her numbers up. You don't know how many subscribers she has, but based upon the number of views that she gets on her videos, I'm thinking that the channel is pretty huge. The name of the channel is ASM Ruby. So I'm kind of kidding around a bit about the, I don't know how big it is. I know it's huge, but I just don't know how huge it is. I love the content. I never really see anyone sharing or talking about her, and yet she's big. And her membership has got to be massive. And what I like about this is that she's the kind of producer, I don't think she really cares about the numbers. I don't think she's producing for the numbers. She's just producing for herself and trying to produce really good videos. I usually watch her stuff more than once, maybe several times, maybe even more than that. And I've hit the bell on her YouTube channel to be notified on everything she produces. She's very careful about what she does produce, and she even has a collection of produced videos that she deems to be kid-friendly, safe YouTube material for children. The one video that really caught my eye, and this again is subjective, this is just one of my favorites, was a video called New Girl at School Sits With You. And I remember sitting watching the video with my son, and I think he appreciated it about as much as I do. My son, by the way, is the guy that introduced me to ASMR. He's in his early 20s. And one night I saw him watching a Bob Ross YouTube video, and I asked him why. And then we got into the conversation, and then boom, I was hooked on ASMR. I love you, son. Another one that I have been watching lately is FamCam ASMR. I was watching this one YouTube video, actually, I was watching it tonight, ASMR Kinetic Sand Art. And FamCam is producing this chess set made out of kinetic sand. And I'm sorry, but I'm a geek, so I love chess. I've been playing it for years. And I find that a lot of my clients where I work play chess, so it's a good time to pass some hours of the week and getting to know some of the people that I'm working with better. So I love the chess set, but when you break down his videos, he really does have a good sense of ASMR. He's fun. You can hear his affect in his voice. He's got a very pleasant voice. And in the video that I watched, he had like a lot of common sense pearls of wisdom that he dropped down. I don't know if he realized that he was doing that, but as somebody who's worked in mental health and addictions, I'm listening to some of the stuff that he's saying, and it's like, this is really good life advice that he's giving here. Does he know that he's speaking like some mental health stuff that I've heard other counselors talking about? Probably not. He just seems to be this really cool, common sense kind of guy, and I hope you give his channel a listen. FamCam ASMR. And the video that I watched this evening was ASMR Kinetic Sand Art. Emerald Rose ASMR. I just love this girl, and I don't know when she's going to live stream or when she's going to make an appearance, but when I do get the notification that a live stream is starting, I will just go pop in and say hello, and there will be usually, I don't know, maybe about 10 of us, not a lot of people all at once, and we just sit around and we banter, and she will just take ASMR requests, and she will spend a couple of hours just doing her ASMR thing with people coming in and out, and it's actually a lot of fun, and she's got this really great sense of humor. That's the last one that I was going to talk about on this video, and I have subscribed to so many. I could go on for hours about the different producers and the different videos that I've been watching, but I just can't do it all at once. So if I haven't talked about somebody in this video, I will probably get around to them in the next video or the next or the next. But I imagine I'm going to be around for a long time, so eventually I'm going to get to everybody. Another thing I want to point out, I don't often talk about the big guys as much as I do about some of the smaller channels. I have a weakness for the smaller channels because I like watching talent grow, and I like watching channels grow. It's just been this thing. I like being the cheering section and encouraging producers to keep going and to produce really good quality stuff. Especially when I sit back and I see that they have this incredible talent that's just waiting to blossom. And I don't want to see them leave. I want them to be encouraged, because there's so much negativity out there. People are going to hear negative comments a fair bit. Producers probably get a lot of negative comments, and it only takes one or two to make a difference. They really need people to be posting positivity in their YouTube streams under the videos in the comments section. If you watch a video and you enjoy it, please say something nice about the video that you're watching. It lets the person know that you care, that you're viewing, and that you enjoyed it. For the ASMR producers that have joined my channel over the last little while, I want to say welcome aboard. I've never really considered this to be a channel to grow into anything big, and I think at the last count I only have about 57 subscribers. But when I started this, I was really only expecting about 3, because I was doing it more for family than I was for anyone else. And I've just managed to pick up a few people along the way, and I've always embraced them. And I've always tried to direct my videos towards everybody, not just family. So now I'm doing that now with this video in regards to some of the ASMR producers who have joined up. I have already acknowledged you probably have more talent in your little finger than I had in my decade of broadcasting. In another era, but I do know a few things that I did pick up in broadcasting that still pertain to today, and probably to some life experience as well outside of YouTube. First, let's go to YouTube. When things go wrong in a live stream, what is the best thing you can do? What is the worst thing that you can do? The best thing you can do is just laugh about it and shrug it off. When you do that, okay, when we see a little technical glitch, we see something huge. When it's the producer sees something huge. Every little thing seems like something huge. Whereas the average viewer probably won't even notice. And even if they did, they just go, oh, okay, well, there's a glitch. And it's like, and then carry on. I've seen ASMR producers absolutely break down when their live stream wasn't going properly, and over things that they had absolutely no control over. And I saw this other person who was going to go nameless. I would really like to say his name because he was so professional about it, but I'm going to hold off on that one. I'm just going to say that things started going wrong in his stream, and it was a complete YouTube breakdown that had absolutely nothing to do with anything that he was doing. And he was up on YouTube, and then the live stream was off, and then he was back on, and then it was off. And he was just going, oh, YouTube has a problem, and I'm just going to keep doing this, and we're just going to keep trying this, and, well, we're going to get back on it at some point here. It's the best way that I'd ever seen anybody handle a myriad number of things that were going wrong all at once. How do you handle negative comments? They can be hard sometimes. Handling them in real life can be difficult. Handling them on YouTube when somebody is saying something nasty or something negative about the video that you've produced, especially once you start gaining popularity and your video starts getting out there, people are going to notice. And there are crazy makers out there, and it doesn't matter how good or how talented you are. Those crazy makers are going to find your channel, and they're going to make negative comments about you. Don't have a meltdown. Don't delete your channel. Don't believe a word that they're saying. You are so much more than a couple of crazy comments made by somebody who is just out trying to make waves. And yet you see it happen all the time where YouTube producers just disappear because they've had some really mean comments directed at them. It can be very difficult, and yeah, there are times when it gets to be abusive, and it would be nice if YouTube would be able to manage those kinds of people faster, more efficiently. When you have billions of comments being dropped on a daily basis, it can be hard to monitor. But just don't judge yourself by the comments that others are making about you. You're the one that wakes up with you in the morning. And does it really have to be a YouTube comment that I'm talking about? I don't think so. Just normal life. Sometimes somebody will say something nasty to us, and we can take that to heart, and we can go to bed at night, and we can toss that around in our head all night long. It isn't worth it. You are the one that wakes up with yourself in the morning. You are the only one that has the right to judge you. Also, don't make the same mistake that you see me making right now. I'm quite personable. I don't really care if people know who I am or where I am. I'm not anticipating getting like 200,000 or 300,000 subscribers, but I already have had one instance where I've had somebody pretty scary following me around on social media. So just be aware that they are there. If you're planning on making a YouTube channel, you might want to take that into consideration. You see an awful lot of the big names out there and how private they are. There's a reason for that. There are people out there who are not very well balanced, and there are some people out there who are just outright dangerous. And if there are parents who are viewing this video, take that into consideration if you're letting your kids onto YouTube. I'm not saying that YouTube is bad, far from it. I'm saying that parents need to be aware of what their kids are doing on the internet. Yeah, when it came to my experience, I just had a really bad experience on Discord and wound up leaving it. And it wasn't really the channel's fault. I just got pulled into somebody's behavior and tried to be somewhat of a mediator. And then I realized that, no, this person has a serious problem and they're not going to let this go. And I didn't feel safe. And they started saying some really bizarre things that had me very concerned. And so I eventually wound up blocking them a couple of times because they kept showing up under different names. That can happen in real life, so just be careful out there, okay? And one more thing for YouTube producers, and also non-YouTube producers. Have a plan. 1 in a million producers are going to make it big on a platform that can pull the plug on ASMR anytime it wants to. Think about that. 1 in a million people are going to make it big on YouTube, maybe to the point of being able to make a living out of it. If you plan on being one of those 1 in a million people, make sure you have a backup plan. Make sure that you're doing your college or your university, or you are going to look into a career in something else. Don't put your eggs all in one basket. There's a reason why that is a cliche. It's because it's true. You can go about doing all that stuff. You can put all of your eggs in one basket. You can just pursue ASMR as a career, but it is a huge risk. And I want you to be safe, and I want you to have a backup plan. Okay, you've heard me ramble enough, okay? It is time for me to enjoy some nature. So I'm just going to go into my inner self right now, and I'm going to close my mouth, and I'm going to enjoy some nature. So clips for the videos are going to be in the video description. You'll find a page where you can find the videos that I was talking about and the producers that I was talking about, okay? All right then, you have yourself a good one. Good night from North Bay.